right, good afternoon, everyone. Those joining online, happy Sunday. I'm sure that we had a great weekend, and you're all welcome to today's session as we wrap up the EAT strategy: energy, attention, and time. And I'll just run through some of the lessons that we've been able to learn from the start of this series for those who perhaps today is your first time of joining this meeting. It's been a wonderful time. It's been an eye-opening time, a time where we've been able to evaluate our goals and focus our attention towards the things that are of major priorities. One of the things that struck me from our first meeting for the year is that our lives should be run as a business, and nobody does business for losses. We all do business for making profit, even if that is not going to be the major thing, but that's going to be one of the reasons why businesses exist, to make profit. And we also stated that if we keep our energy and our thoughts in line with our goals, regardless of our current situation, sooner rather than later, we are going to be met with the goals that we have in our hearts. So I remember then that where we gave an instance where your current situation is, in quote, you are poor, but then you are looking at the future. So if you keep your eyes on the goal, it's going to motivate you, it's going to make you to push harder and harder. But if you keep your eyes on your current situation, you are going to, in no time, fall into depression. So it's important that we keep our thoughts, we keep our energy focused on our end goal. And we also talked about attention. And one thing that struck me when we spoke about attention was that nobody is too poor that they cannot pay attention. Nobody is too poor that they cannot pay attention. You just need to exercise that discipline to be able to pay attention. And we also said that focused attention would give meaning to energy. I was reading a book, and the book made reference to how children can be energetic, but they lack attention. So they use their energy in different ways. So a child is playing with an apple now, and then all of a sudden they are distracted with a mango, and they leave the apple, and they are now on the mango, and they are playing with the mango, and then all of a sudden there's light, and now they want to watch the TV. So you see how they are expanding a lot of energy, but without focused attention. So when you focus your attention, it gives meaning to where you are giving your energy to. And energy, attention, and time are inseparable. They are inseparable. These are three things that are going to work together if we get it right. If you put your energy on the right stuff, if you have your focused attention on the right stuff, with time, it's going to show, right? With time, it's going to show. So today, we are going to move into the final series for the EAT strategy, which is time. Time. Time is a revealer. Time will tell. We've heard that statement before. Time will tell if what you are doing is right or what you are doing is wrong. Time will tell if you are serious or not. I remember then when we were in school, you'll be playing in 100 level, 200 level, and then your seniors will tell you, don't worry, time will tell if you remain in this faculty. You don't need too much advice. Time will tell, you know. And for some, when the time came, they were withdrawn. But for others, when the time came, we saw that they had to move on to the next class and the next class. And so as we move on with our life, as we move on with our goals, regardless of how we are putting our energy and our attention, let's have it at the back of our minds that time will tell. And I hope that as we move on with today's session, our eyes will be opened wider, our minds will be illuminated, and we will take the necessary actions. So to further continue us in this session, we want to make welcome our mentor and our uncle, Dr. Femi Kayode.
Thank you. Thank you, Eben. You should not be taking me serious, you know. I used to. I used to. Please, if you don't mind, if you can come forward. But as Dr. Iben was talking, I just felt like I should just sit down and listen today. So let's give maybe Fed another 5 minutes. You just come and recap again. As you were talking, I was also jotting because some of these things they are not because I want to talk. There are things I also try to put in my life. Yeah, the things I try to put in my life. So let's give Fed another 5 minutes. They are all very good speakers. Very good. See, as he was talking, I was also jotting. Another 5 minutes, then I can come. But don't invite me seriously again. You've done that before. All right, thank you.
Hello, everyone. Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Kayode, for the impact. Thank you so very much. All right. So it's been an amazing journey. Eat, right? I think the last time we were discussing, we said what we need is to eat, right? We need to eat. And then that's energy, attention, and then time. So let me just give a brief recap of last week and continue from where Dr. Eben, started us with. Thank you, Dr. Eben. All right, so Doctor told us that he made a striking point when he said, "You will remain the same until the pain of remaining where you are is greater than the pain of changing." Let me come again. You will remain the same until the pain of remaining where you are. I want that to sink in. Until the pain of remaining where you are is greater than the pain of changing. He says, the doctor also told us that we had small, or we remain small as a result of diffused attention. Dr. Eben said something very profound, about children. The energy is there. I have one not too far from me. He can be everywhere. He can be everywhere with serious energy, pushing this, that. But if you just call him Bobo, he can be going somewhere like Bobo before he turn back. Same energy. So they don't have that, concentrated attention on one thing, but they have the energy, and that, like he rightly said, that's the attitude of a child. So as you grow into maturity, certainly one of the key things we will see and say that this person is growing into whatever it is he's processing is that you begin to pay attention to, or a focused attention, a laser sharp attention. The same sunlight can burn a piece of paper only if you concentrate, the energy and make it pay attention to one thing, right? So it says you remain small as a result of diffused attention. Now it says the way we spend our energy is how we spend our attention. So energy, the power. Doctor taught us about energy now, the spirit part, right? That's the power. But the way we spend that power is the way we spend our attention, right? He said, said something very profound. He said, don't be so poor that you can't pay common attention. Hi. And one thing about this eat strategy is that everybody has it all. I say you, right? He has energy. You have the power to control your attention, right? He also has the power to control his attention. You have
And then, I mean, last week Friday, you know how that you say you want to buy, for instance, a car, and then all of a sudden, every car on the street becomes that very particular car you say you want to buy. So I began to see that thing all around. I began to see it all. I said, ah, I became excited. I said, no, 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 I think this thing has dawned on me. I was just seeing it everywhere. Right? So you need to pay attention to your belief. And then you need to lastly pay attention to your results. Numbers don't lie. Like what we say, numbers don't lie. You need to pay attention to, is it working? Right? Is it working? Working, then ask, what do I need to do to make it work? So you see, as you pay attention to your situation, pay attention to your belief, and pay attention to your result, you begin to find out that you are taking right step, calculated step, you're making progress. But if you don't pay attention, but let me just read the last thing and I'll be out of your faces. It says, okay, no, one point before that. It says genius is found in the realm of imagination and not logic. Nobody imagine, right? But as you are imagining, right? Don't forget three things to pay attention to: your context, your belief, and then you have to engage that power of imagination. Now, let me ask you a question. I know you've never had to count this consciously, but uh, uh, how many windows do you have in your house? So, what's the name? Okay, doctor. Oh, Dr. Victor. How many windows do you have in your house? You've counted, yes, windows. Yes, the whole house. So you are here now, and I just sent you back to your house to go and count it. See, imagination is free. You can imagine.
And that's to say, I don't really know topics. And the good thing is that we should be learning together. Nobody is monopoly of knowledge. One of the biggest shifts we are making in one of our businesses is just by listening to somebody that I thought I know something more than. If you are, no, no, just bring down my mic. If you're a student of success or progress, you will never know it all. So the biggest skill to learn, to keep growing, is to remain a student. I still learn. I still listen. And when people throw around the word mentorship, you go, I want to be spared of that punishment. So it doesn't mean I cannot pass across knowledge. Uh, I'm only privileged to probably be things here and there. And I take that as a humbling privilege, but I don't know it all. So that I don't to lose the lessons from you because you cannot question me. Today is the final series, and while sitting down there, I like this eat strategy. So I said I will convert it into a book. Right? I'll convert it into a book. Thank you. But I need a favor. I don't know how to get through this favor. I think more than this eat strategy, the reason why I said you should also come up, I heard what Dr. and I liked it. Like it wasn't even me that led the session. Like they are profound words. So I said, okay, let's listen to Fed too. And he said, similar powerful things. So, but just imagine I was in, and I see a lot of young people. Today, tears almost dropped down my eyes. I took, so in our church, they started the left class and the panel. So they were asking questions and, usually give me my, because, I'm slightly off. So I'm careful. I'm careful in echoing those beliefs. So I made a statement. Then immediately after the session, I went out. I went out to probably ease myself. And a young lady, maybe the size of my second daughter, walked up to me, said, "You're right?" I said, "Yes." And she quoted the exact sentence I quoted. So I saw the way, the way you will see some people dress, you will know whether they are okay or not. So I knew her dressing wasn't really that okay, especially for her background. So I asked the teacher to show me the parent of the lady, and I knew that probably they are also not there yet, actually. And I offered the mom the gesture to pay her school fees. But while I sat down, I know I cannot take up the responsibility. I have registered a school, Creative College. I made Uncle Jerry here knows I made mouth. I made mouth that once I'm 40, I will start a school, no school fees, no exam. People will not wear uniform. It's for creatives like this. So that they come to school, there's no parents are not paying bills. Because all of us have that genius in us. Life, responsibility, flogged it out. Flogged it out. Flogged it out. The teacher said that's how she is. She's inquisitive. That the teacher also mentioned that some of the questions she asks, that sometimes she doesn't know the answer. So when I sat down, I said, so what should I do now? There's nothing. I mean, myself, I'm handicapped. I'm handicapped. Like I should go and pick up, but pick her to where? Pick her to where? Are there people like that, young, bright? But the society has not intentionally created a structure to support genius. Pick out to where? They are young people, you know that they are brainy, but their parents are sick. They forget their dreams just to survive. One of the key things the American system has done is they have abundance of risk capital. Why don't I just give you, if I give you $1 million and say, go and live your life, you will wake up. So again, we need to flog out laziness because that's what kills. You're not lazy, you're not, but again, you're distracted by basic what to eat, what to drink, and your parents. Let's settle all that. Honestly, God keep my life. We will have an island where children and young people don't think about anything. We need to start building but we are too distracted to build our own planes. So I want to maybe switch this thing a little bit, right? So that our impact can be more. Maybe once in a while, in every quarter, we'll just have this meeting with our core team. And I'll take it through everything I've learned, all the insights, whether I've changed my mind or whether I've not changed my mind, and I will just pour. But we need to, I think it's a better use of our time if we can expand these thoughts. Some of you know enough, to put young people on campus. All right. So I'm thinking that instead of this once a month that we come here, I will fund, and it's not going to be paid, please. But I can cover all. We'll get a big hall in the University of Abuja. I can have students. I don't need to come. And by the way, we're opening another conference. The next 1, 2, 3 months will be very busy for me. But this EAT strategy, just stay on it and teach people. And teach them that they can be more if they put their heads together. So I just need a few set of people. I will cover the logistics. You go, and students are already there. So it's not like you are going to go and get them. Fill the hall. It will be leadership, growth, and success. And then you can take 20 minutes, another 20 minutes. Inspire them. Once you inspire them, still on some of the things we've taught, you can start from SAPA to surplus, you can do each strategy, whatever it is, and mentor these young people. And I think it will expand this knowledge because we're here, maybe let's say 50 to 100 people join online, we have 20 people on ground. It's okay. And it's okay, but we can expand this. Can't we get 100 students, University of Abuja, 100 students in one hall? Can we do? And then people will take the class. Can we do that? So maybe for this small set of people, what we can just do is any time within a quarter, once every quarter, maybe one whole day, right? We'll just lock up a hotel room, people come in, there'll be lunch, and then I can take the entire session, probably my learnings, and then we can take up that energy and go and talk to people. The idea is to see how fast I can accelerate so initially I said by 40, I'll concentrate from 40 to 50, teaching people everything I know. But if we continue this way, it's not going to work. But if I teach a small set of people, and this small set of people carry the same idea into the campus, maybe we can expand it. So let's launch a campus club. If we do Abuja and it worked, we'll figure out how we can do other campuses. Just carrying the same thing and putting it in different people. And maybe we can save quite a bit of some life. If you want to join the set of volunteers, raise up your hand. It will not be paid though, but I will cover all the logistics, your movement to that place and back, and if Any money that needs to be spent, we will. Raise up your hand. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. So good. So good. So after this, we will get it through, and then so I have my book, A Fool at 40. I have them plenty inside the office. Or somebody came to you and said, "Why are you not selling?" I said, "Me too. I don't know." So maybe we will just crash the price to a barest minimum, 500, 1,000. So let people just read and learn. That's all. Maybe we can get to 1 million in 5 years. I will still be distracted with my goal, the goal of the business for another 5 years. So before I can fully come out, it's until I'm 45. So I thought I would do it by 40, but it's not possible till I'm 45. So, but again, maybe this small talk and these small books can go a long way. Some of you who have learned something can go and teach other people, and then we can just expand the network. Please, this is important to me. And if you will help me, I will be super, very grateful. The first meeting, I don't need to be, I will not be really available in another 1-2 months. Not that I will not be in the country, I'll be off and on the country, but I think we know enough. Dr. Iben knows enough, Fed knows enough. Those two of you we gave the mic to know enough to teach others. All right, so today is going to be the final blow for the EAT strategy. So as we always do, let's start by recapping. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I'm just going to read, I'm not going to read everything, but I'll read a few things. A distracted mind is necessary for the incredible technology boom we currently have. So the thing is stacked against you. Progress is stacked against you. If all of us become very serious with our lives, there will be the fall of the technology era. They will fall. If the subscriber on Facebook is 2 billion and something brings it down to 1 billion, the stock price of Facebook will crash. Same thing with all the social media. So what grows their stock value is the quality of attention that they have. So somebody said, if you're using a tool and you're not paying for it, then you are the product of that tool. So Facebook, what's Facebook selling? It is you Facebook is selling. Abi? You are the product of Facebook. You give them, when you want to sign up and then you click that accept, you give them the right to collect money for selling your attention. So you are necessary for them to be rich. So what you want to do is to at least, we cannot stop social media again. Like, it has been intertwined into everything we do and who we are that we cannot stop it. I still check LinkedIn today. I still use WhatsApp today. But if within those usage, we can also prioritize our goal. If we're going to reach the campus, everybody who comes for that campus meeting, they join a WhatsApp group. And you people share, oh, this is it. We are also using the tool. But just that this time around, we've cornered part of the tool to achieve our goal. So we can use the tool to also be part of what will move us to our goal. just that at this time we have to be intentional. So I wrote, the profit system can only be sustained if we all keep paying attention to those measures, right? So one other thing I want to mention, and for paying attention, is that attention, first of all, and please write this down. Attention, first of all, is first. Attention, first of all, is first. You will need to know this. Attention, first of all, is first. By default, you are distracted. Honestly. The way you are now. For most of us here, our rate of distraction is between 50 to 70%. My rate of distraction is still around 50 to 60%. That's why I'm still here. I was sleeping and I was waking up. I was sleeping, I was waking up last night. I went to church. For the first time, I felt like sleeping in church because I was slightly stressed most part of the night. And I get to this point more often when I want to bite a big goal. Bite a big goal. So we're just biting a big goal, stretching into another country. It's a big goal. We've talked about it. But the reality is about to happen. So just imagine every night I'm stretched like it doesn't happen every night. It's when I want to. Just imagine every night for the next 3 years, I stretch myself that hard. So, but again, when we finally launch open, I know I relax a little bit. Okay, I can take one pancake here, I can get distracted here. So averagely 50 to 60% of me is distracted. So if you now understand that by default, trust me, by default, you're distracted. If you now want to adjust that lens, it will require effort. Effort of, as you wake up, planning your day. As you want to sleep, scoring your day. Like, okay, what do I want to do today? So. Why am I doing those things? It's because I want to achieve so. And before you sleep, what is the score? How much did I perform with those set of goals? Those things, because it's not by default our attitude. At first, it must be forced. Attention is first of all forced because it is not normal again now to be focused. Your God-given energy, I wrote, is easily diffused because of how easy it is for you to be distracted. It's easy. It's easy. It's easy. So you have to get yourself on it and get yourself on it on a day-to-day basis. I know we understand this, but I will keep going back to it. So what you want to achieve, it has to be clear. I cannot say this basic thing enough, because if you have power and you don't know what you want to use the power for, it's almost useless. What do you want to achieve? This year we want to be in one African country. And see how, okay, we are online, right? I don't know how to say this, but okay, so let me take a risk, because I don't know who is listening online. Okay, Jerry, Ima, even Iben, you were in our in our retreat, end of year retreat. We did end of year retreat last year. And we had a goal. And I remember bringing out the goal for last year. I brought out the goal of last year, and we smashed the entire goal for, no, that's goal for 2023. We smashed it, and we tore the goal, and we're very happy. And then I introduced the goal for 2025. But this year was slightly different. We said 2025 to 2026. And we wrote 9 African countries that we want to expand to. And we said, as we are in 2025, let's try just one. Why did I say try one? It's because we've not done it before. So first of all, we will deepen what we are doing in Nigeria and be sure we are truly dominant. Then secondly, we'll try one African country. Then by 2026, we'll be fully on the expansion. So what was the plan for 2025, last quarter, to be in one African country, last quarter? All of a sudden, 3-4 weeks ago, I got a call from somebody. He said, we're going on the instance of the president of one African country to pay a visit that they need people to come and invest. I said, okay. So why are you calling me? He said, they also are paying attention to agriculture. So that they've checked around and somebody recommended my name. I said, no problem. Where is it? No problem. Give me the bill for my ticket. No problem. I paid. And I was just going there just so that let me even feel them. By the time I got there, what would have taken us till last quarter to achieve was achieved in one sitting. Middle of this month, we're probably going back to go and set up. See, miracles happen with a defined goal. If you have energy and you are paying attention, what are you paying attention to? It's a defined goal. You know, when Fed was talking, he said maybe he has a goal. I don't know what the goal was. Let's say you want to buy, you suddenly want to buy, you're saving money to buy a Venza, a red Venza. Trust me, by the time you have that goal, everywhere you see Venza, you will see it pass. You will notice it. Have you noticed if you're looking for accommodation, how you will see toilet more than the average person that is distracted? Have you noticed? Everywhere, you will notice every toilet. You know why? Okay, help me bring it. Thank you. You know why you will notice every toilet? Your attention is a magnet. If your goals are clearly defined, you will see it. You will see it. So the heart of paying attention comes with clarity of intention. Comes with clarity of intention. Where are you going? Where are you going? What do you want to pay attention to? It also picks, see, your clarity on your intention will pick your habit. I was telling them at the live class today, I said, okay, maybe you people, I can sing a little bit, maybe not the best of, but I used to sometimes go to meetings and I see all these people, they pay a lot of money, come to sing. Maybe they have better anointing, but it's not like that all of them have very incredible voice like that. Have you noticed? Yeah, it's not like they have very incredible voice. I can sing past some people. But what's the difference between me and them, despite I'm talented? You see, your talent can only be rewarded with focused attention. So they keep paying attention. They keep showing up in singing competition or singing. They keep telling people, oh, no, you can invite me to your church. I have never written to it. I've never had the desire in the last 10 years that I will go to a service, you will give me mic to sing. Sing for what now? Some of us are only singing unto the Lord. That is all. Why will you invite me to come and sing? Like, I think I don't have any business. Oh, fantastic. I love this. I love this, right? Your attention will draw the energy for the results. So just imagine that, it's Uncle Jerry that invited me to Holy Hill. That's the church we attend. Just imagine that my goal is to be a musician. As I'm going there, as I'm seeing whoever it is, okay, please, just invite me. And then they, oh Lord, like you just sing. Maybe by now, 3 people must have invited. But despite that possibility is there, but because attention is not paid, the reward can show. So, as we know that attention is powerful, when it is paid, please, whatever you believe, understand that this word is energy. This whole word. And I don't want to be using the word spiritual because we've made everything so somehow. People are watching us online. Abi? Like from this camera, people are watching us online. So one of my, we're in school together, she watches from the US. Like, how many kilometers from here to the US? But something is transmitting what we're doing here to somebody in the US. So it means that there's a whole invisible thing that is making things happen. Your attention can draw it. I just told us we had a goal. That goal is in my office, written down in crystal clear. I didn't put it behind me, I put it in front of me. So every morning I come to the office, I see that we're supposed to be in one African country. That attention, I didn't know, we said that you are always pressing the button. It was pressing button every day. And then somebody picked up the signal and invited me. And then we met with almost 9 ministers, including the president, in the country that we're going to. They gave me chieftains. Things that you should have suffered for came. The problem is not that the result is too hard. The problem is that you're not paying attention enough. Put that goal in front of you, Biko. Be so obsessed. Be so obsessed. Some people just look like they are not. You might not believe. Money is the easiest thing to make. Dr. Victor is smiling. It's difficult, right, to believe. How do I tell you it's easy? How do I tell you it's easy? I didn't know people believe me that much. We were in a board meeting, and then the total budget that the person was reading out, that was yesterday. The total budget the person was reading out was around 166 million. And then the person now mistakenly said 166,000. And we had to correct the person, no, it's 166 million. And just the guy that he now apologized jokingly that he's used to calling thousand. So that's why he now called 166 million. Then I now laughed. I didn't know my chuckle was loud. And then someone else called one of our business name. And the professor now said, no, this kind of money is chicken change to me. I said, okay, this is nice. This is very nice. If somebody has caught on the belief that 166 is chicken change, how about? And you will not believe that the last 1-2 weeks I've been mentally absorbing to get to that point where 500 million is chicken change. Really, I've been working on it mentally. Some of us can spend small, we still get bothered. You can spend 100,000, you can spend 1 million, and it will not bother you. Spend 50 million, it will bother you. Spend 100 million, it will bother you. Spend 500 million, where are you going to get that kind of money from? So when I realized that, this thing is a mental game, so I said, I could dash you 500 million. The woman I paid her child's school fees today, she thought maybe I would say, go come. I just said, please, you give me her account. Because of the excitement, she forgot her account. On how much? True story. She forgot her account. On how much? Your mind is deceiving you. Are there people who can dash big money out? Yeah. Set your goal. Put it in front of you all through the year. Your energy will dissipate to attract it. In one of the sessions, I said, don't calculate. The first thing is not to calculate. The first thing is to imagine. Is that okay? You have it. God won't leave you at that point where you have nothing around you or in you to rise. That's your energy. You will need focused attention to make it happen. And focused attention can only happen when you are clear on your intentions. Focused attention on a clear intention will bring you to your destination faster than you can ever imagine. Faster, way faster. So to the last path. And so I'm going to pick up from Dr. Eben's word. Time. Time will tell. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Time will tell. Time will tell. Everything happens in time. Everything happens in time. Of course, once you're not in time again, then I don't know what happens in the other world. So I cannot. Some say there's judgment, but I'm not meant to teach other world. Let's teach this word, right? Everything will happen in time. Mr. Ware, you will be successful in time. You will fly that private jet in time. You will own your veterinary store in time. For everything, there's a season and there is a time. Time tells, time reveals. Time tells, time reveals. I said in one of our class that time reveals what your attention is on. How will you know the people who were reading in time? When result comes out, we were all in 100 level. All of us, sharp, 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 sharp. And I know I've given this example. She probably follows me, but I pray she's not watching. Julie, that's the name, Dr. Julie. The most beautiful girl in our class. Did I say our class? She was about the most beautiful in the faculty then. Like we were finishing class, 100 level, a 500, 600 level senior will come and wait for her at the gate. So it's not competition that you can win. It's not competition that you can win. She's finishing. Some people will be already buying her lunch. But in time, result was pasted. In time, result was pasted. By the time they roll, the first 4 point something they saw was my number, VM 1031. By the time they rolled to our own, I think it was 0.45. I can't remember exactly. But it was one ridiculous point. So the next morning, we got to class. People were waiting. She was waiting for me. Time with there. Time. Time will tell. And you will not believe. While I was going, because I'd given up. She came and then she, what? But she slipped her hand and I said, Julie. She said, yes, that she wants to see me. I said, why not? Why not? Let's see each other. Why not? We go to class together. All of a sudden, time told what attention is on. You are too much in a hurry because you think time will not tell. At that point, I was disadvantaged. Money, I don't get. Fine, I don't get. 100 level. What advantage do you have? Them, and I grew up with my brother. It was all religious. It was only scripture we could tell. So you got me the fine girl. He said the Lord loves you. How will you want to convince a fine girl that the Lord loves you? Leave that thing. Leave that thing. But in time, you see, don't give up. Time tells. Time tells. That car, you will drive it. That plane, you will buy it. You will buy it. That goal you have, you will get it. What I used to envision before, I have a bit of it now. I have a bit of it. Haba. So give it time. Give it time. Give it time. I wrote here, time will tell, time will reveal, time will heal, time will kill, time will grow. It depends on what your attention is on. Oh. So if you're focused on your goal 1 month, continue focusing on it. Whatever you're doing, keep on keeping up, because time will tell. So it now becomes critical that you really don't manage time. Somebody said, and I read this long time ago, that it is life you manage. Whichever way is correct, the bottom line is that you have 3 resources that everybody has. You have energy, you have attention, you have time. And you know that it is the utilization of these 3 that brings out the results ultimately, right? So what you need to do is to deeply understand your energy, ensure that attention is focused on a clear intention, and do it in time. Seeds grow in time. Abi, do you plant corn today, despite you have the energy to become a full-grown plant with plenty, 1, 2, 3 cups of base is there? The attention has been focused by putting the seed in the soil. So it's not just in a random place, but it will still require time for it to germinate. So the key question now is to now ask yourself, how are you using time? Let me tell you, what helped me in school, and you know, I use that strategy almost all through. First of all, I used to have a big challenge with academics. I started getting better in academics in my SS1, and I'll spare us the story. But one of the key things I got was that I was a genius. My belief system, so not like I'm really a genius, but I believe I'm a genius. Sometimes I get careful with what I say online. Not that I'm like a superstar, but you know, I know people will dig into my past very soon. so that's why I'm slightly very careful. But let me take the risk and tell you a story of what just happened, the African countries we went to. So we were 12, they were all big people in their right. Story somehow. Let's leave that story. But you see, the final thing I wanted to hit on was that I was brought from behind. Usually when I go to a place, I stay behind. I always don't want to, even if one of them finish eating and I collected the person's plate to go and keep. They brought me from behind and put me in front. I don't need to struggle to get her attention. I've built that depth and that belief. So I had the belief that I was a genius, even in 100 level. But not believe that It makes my shoulder rise. I looked at you, okay, no problem, no problem, no problem. And it's not really competition. It's when I got into core business that I became slightly competitive. But now I'm beginning to rewire my head. This thing will not grow big with competition. To grow big by collaborating, right? So I had to believe that I'm going to pass. But usually I don't copy notes. I photocopy notes. So in class, I listen. And Tony, I spoke to her 3-4 days ago. She had very nice handwriting. So what happened is that I photocopied her note. It's foldable. I'm going to go and play table tennis. I play table tennis or chess in social center ABU. I put my book at the back of my pocket. It's always at the back of my pocket, always. And I read with red biro. That's how I got to know how to mark books. Why do I read with red biro? If I read something, what I need to pay attention to is in red. I underline it with red. So if I'm supposed to read something that will have taken me maybe the whole day, 5-6 hours, but because I've read it before, I only read the red. Those reds are cue that explains almost everything. If I get the cue, I will pour down the notes. It's not magic. Once I get that cue, I'll pour down that. So, time for test, I just go, okay, I read the cue, I understand the note. Read the cue, I understand the note. Read the cue, I understand the note. Read the cue. So that's how my brain works. So I will go social center, but my book is at the back of my pocket. Play chess or play table tennis. But I go to class almost every single day. See never dry. Those of you who finish from ABU. And I read. They don't see that part, but they see I won a award of stressless. So they think that I'm stressless. I play table tennis, play chess, and I make joke. I started learning how to share jokes in class a little bit, but I stopped it at one point in time. So they could not imagine how I could be very successful. There was even a semester, I think I had 4.7 something myself. And of course, I finished with, I think, 4.1 or something. My last school, let's leave that alone. So, but again, I understood time, I understood attention, and every single day, I was going, marking those photocopy thing in red. If you will do something every day, consistently, in time, you will get there. You know, sometimes people around me get worried that people can pull you down. I've sown too many seeds in time to be cut down. I took green tea this morning. For the last 3 months, I can count on my fingertips the morning I didn't take green tea. The witchcraft that you can do that can destroy years of taking green tea in time has not been born. You know, while I was in the African country, somebody was asking me, so I don't wear ring. I pray my wife has quarreled me. It used to do me chuku, so that's why I don't wear. But again, please don't learn that part from me. Someone was asking me if I were married. I say, me, I have 4 children. I'm after 4. I have 4 children. 4. And the gap massive between the second to the last and the last one is almost 6-7 years. So if I were very active, I would have had 7. Dr. Fresh, you're smiling. There's nothing wrong in having 7, right? I am more stressed than the average person, but I don't break down. I came back on Friday, had board meeting all through Saturday. We had live class, so I had to wake up early this morning. I took 30-minute nap and I'm here. After this, I'm going to Guarimpa. So people who are going to Guarimpa will go together. There's another series of meetings. Tomorrow, we're handing over to the board. They are deliverables for me. Tuesday, I have a management meeting. A fixed meeting for all through those days. Wednesday is already planned. Upper week, I'm traveling again. See, the water, the green tea, sown in time, will not make you break. Nobody can pray your breakdown. Please understand this, and I want you to please take it serious. If it had become a habit, it cannot be easily destroyed. So your focused attention cannot be half-assed. You cannot focus it today, get distracted tomorrow, focus it next tomorrow, get distracted. It cannot be half-assed. That's be done consistently. And if it is planted consistently in time, it cannot be destroyed. It will be tough for people to believe this, but I tell you, it cannot be destroyed. Because, there's the scripture that if it is built on a solid ground, the storm will come, but it will still be what? To be standing. I want to plead with every one of us. What's the time now? Yes. 4:14. All right, so I just give me 10 minutes. Let me wrap this up, and then we'll take questions. Then we will wrap up. So just let me 4:14. Just let me know once it's 4:25, so that I can stop this. Please pay attention. The power is in managing every day. That's where the power is. I think that's what I do better than most people. And I've said this over and over again, is in managing every day. That's where the power is. So if at the end of the day, which we call time, you ask yourself, so what have I done? Don't forget, you cannot do this analysis until you are clear on where you are going. This year, we're already clear. I told my team, Uncle Jerry is here. I said, this year, leave every other side thing. I have just one focus. Right? Once you're clear, every day you have to audit. Did I do anything today, which is time, to ensure that this thing I've set as a clear intention, that my attention was really spent on it? Did you hear that? You will have to audit how you are spending your attention every day. Was my attention spent on it? Even if you are not acting on it, were you thinking about it? Thinking about it. Because time tells. Time tells. Having my CGPA 4 point something at the end of the day revealed what my night was. People did not see the photocopied paper. People did not understand how I was marking things with red. People only saw some other part and think, see, all of us are sitting down here, but time will tell who is serious and who is not what? Serious. You cannot fake it. This one is not fake it until you make it. This one, you will not make it. And you see, when we started, that's why I wanted to die the idea of mentor. Because you could receive that mentor energy. The consciousness I have is that this thing I'm talking about, I have to do it now. Abi? If I don't do it, and you're the one doing it more, you will get the result. And I will be here. You know how people claim, and we used to support this person. God just helped him. He flew. You know how people will say, I was the one teaching this person. Let me tell you a story. I was in school. Somebody believed the way I was talking, and put my picture on his wall. I went to, immediately after school, he invited me to where he was. I traveled down. He invited me for a conference. I was heavy on motivational speaking. Invited me to where, so when I entered inside, I saw my picture on his wall. I said, why? He said, I inspired him. Then all of a sudden, he started moving forward. He bought one car. I said, what's happening? Who bought the second car? What's happening? The next time I went to his house, my picture was gone. My picture was gone. He was not the one helping my life. This thing, he doesn't respect it. He doesn't respect whether you're a mentor or nothing. No. The moment you stop doing it, it won't happen for you. He said, be not deceived. It's not mocked. Whatever you sow, you will reap. If you are inspired and you put my picture on your wall and that inspiration gives you energy to keep acting, and I keep saying, go to Mr. Oweye's house. My picture is on the wall. Bless you, sister. I keep going around bragging that my picture is on the wall. One day it's going to come down. Because it's not a respecter of person. What you are doing every day, what you're doing in time we speak it out. Some of you in 10 years, you'll be having your own ship. Some of you in 10 years, you have your own school. Some of you in 10 years, you will go to meetings and say you want to donate. Is it no person that has it? Somebody donated 2 billion every year for the next 4 years. So you know who the person is. You didn't watch one book launch. I came for my book launch. One book launch. And he came and said, for the library, I'm going to be donating 2 billion every year until the project is completed. You will donate 2 billion. It will happen in time. So what I'm asking for is that while the time is reading, and hope you know, time reads every second, every minute, every hour, every day. If it will happen in time and time reveals what your attention is on, it's only normal that if you pay attention in time, it will happen. It will happen. It will happen. So don't give up yet. Your best is yet to come. Thank you. So the EAT strategy, energy, attention, time, and what I really want us to go home with today is that time will tell. So what will time say about you? It's not you that will tell. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. You will not need to talk anything or say anything, but time will reveal what your attention is on. Are we good? So let's take a few questions online, offline, and this is the end of the series. We will not hold next month, but we will evolve into the campus meeting. Once I have a bit of some time, I will invite these core people. We will use a hotel this time around. Maybe a change in environment can also help have the whole day, but I would let us know probably in advance that we're picking this whole day. This is the hotel we're using. We will come, you will take breakfast, you will take lunch, and I will just reel out the lessons, and then you will pick those lessons to go and help somebody else. I think it's a better use of our time. So let's take a few questions here and there if they are. What's the time? 4:30? Do we have 2 mics or 1 mic? Even if it's not a question, if it's something you want to share, online audience too, they can type so that we can read it out if we see their comments. It could be a summary of anything you've learned.
Okay, good afternoon, sir. Have a good evening, rather. So, I was reading a book sometime this week. So the author talked about what could happen, especially with certain things that may, certain kind of form of trauma that you may have had while you were still a child, and how that could impede your progress even as an adult. So he mentioned certain, mantra and all of that that you could try to profess and it could help you grow. And but I wanted you to touch on that, really relating it to the fact that in as much as we are all trying to focus our attention on the right kind of things and grow as a person financially and otherwise. When he talked about that concept, something came to my mind because he gave certain examples. Talked about a particular lady whose actually story was more like they were in a dinner set with the father, the mom, and her sister, and then they were arguing about money anyways, and the father slumped and died there. That was the story of the lady. And then growing up in her life, she just had this thing that always happens to her where she would make money today, tomorrow it's gone. She would make money today, tomorrow it's gone. So when she spoke to and she was even a nurse, funny enough. So when she spoke to the author of the book, because he was sharing the story, he said something like, they had to, they dug deeper and then found out that she had the wrong kind of mindset around money, because the fact that her father died created that trauma in her that, okay, maybe money is an evil thing because money or the pursuit of it is what killed my father or is what caused this particular thing. This is just an example I remember. So I don't know if this is a question, but I wanted you to, there's something you can say around that particular factor.
I had to breathe really very hard to answer that question. Because, our background in Africa is the biggest thing that has impeded us as young people. So, I grew up, we were staying in a room for a long time. Clothes hung, and my dad was a civil servant. But to say you have enough was a very strange thing. It's a very strange thing. The kind of prayers we pray, it was a very strange thing. So, and I really didn't think there was anything wrong with it, really. Up until I went to serve in Port Harcourt. And a guy piqued interest in me and we were friends, and she had rich parents. He had a rich parent. I went to their house. So you go have extra rooms. I didn't know it was possible to have extra, like you have extra rooms. Sometimes in a room and parlor we could be 17. If you're going to wake up in the night to sleep, this is how you will be. You have to check that you're not going to march on somebody's leg. So I got to his house. I know I wasn't really used to, it was Port Harcourt that opened my mind to quite a bit. So you could build a house lavishly, and one person will sleep in one room. Wow. Like only you in one room. What now eventually blew my mind, he said he's traveling, that his mom asked him if he wanted to go, and he said he wanted to go. And where is he traveling to the UK? That you want to go to the UK and it's not a problem. So, although I didn't process it properly, because that began some months of hatred for my family. I think these people know parents. And how come your own is different. That if I want something, you will not be able to give me. So I had to, it was somebody that saved me from that thought. That, well, it has happened, so what do you want to do with it? But if you keep on with this bitterness, your children will also come. And it will be you they will be bitter against. That moment began months and months of telling myself, I have enough. I have enough. I have enough. I have enough. What was I doing? Echoing, I have enough. It was to dispel the heavy depth of subconscious programming that has straitjacketed my life, because you will produce what your subconscious mind has been programmed to produce. It's a software. Hope you know some young people, even some people here, still believe that money is difficult to make. You've not had the right conversation with people. Not had the right conversation with people. So the first thing is to acknowledge that, and it's not difficult to get you to acknowledge, just check you. Dr. Victor, how old are you, please, if you don't mind? 27. 27. My wife works in Coast. Said somebody aged 22 came to fix his dad's car, and they gave him the bill, and he felt like he doesn't want his dad to suffer, and went upstairs to check and bought a car for his dad. 22. You've gapped the person by 5. Uncle Jerry, you were part of the story. How much did he say? How much did he say the amount of the car was? 120 million. At 22. What I'm trying to say is that you have to acknowledge that something is wrong. It's the pride or to dispel that nothing is wrong with me. That's what hinders the first step of healing. I had to acknowledge that something is wrong. If at 22, somebody came to fix his dad's car, felt like, I don't want to fix, I don't want too much problem for my dad, and went upstairs to pay cash, 120 million. So if you are 27 and you don't have a car, don't say God did it for them that your own time will come. Acknowledge that your mind has not yet accommodated the fact that you could have 120 million at 22. So once you acknowledge, then you can now start working from there. So you now say, okay, now that I know that something is wrong, do I truly even believe that by the time I'm 30, I will have 100 million? Some people, you can have it in your head. If you have it in your heart, it will show in your actions. So just imagine that we started the business 5 years ago and we're going to another African country to go and start up. And this time around, we're working from the level of the presidency. This was the guy that hawked. It's not whether the opportunities are there. It's because my subconscious mind has been reprogrammed for greatness. It will happen in time. The subconscious mind hurts, but more importantly, it hurts you. It stops you from moving forward. So that question is about the most powerful question a young person will need to ask and answer honestly. You will have to answer it honestly, really. There's no pride in this thing. Just check your result. Is it there? If it's not there, what's stopping it? And most often is beliefs. Limiting belief. Anthony Robbins, I hardly read Anthony Robbins now, but I used to read his notes before, and he calls something limiting beliefs. You vet, you have finished like 2-3 years. What's stopping you from owning your own? The first thing that will come is that, oh, I don't have capital. That thing is a belief. It's a belief. That you don't have capital is a belief. I have enough capital. Please, shut me, take me offline. Just pause it, Biko. Track the equivalent. So if you are being stopped, you're hurt, spend time alone, echoing, I'm healed, I'm rich. Some is the hurt of the past that stops them. Look for stories of people who have been hurt by the same. I said somebody, I went to a service, and the person wanted to jump out into jump from a bridge into the water. Why? She got pregnant and she has a baby. And the dad said, I was somewhere last week. They said 1 man, 8 children, 8 women. He's not married. He's just one. one as in one. One, you want to jump inside the river. And somebody has 8. 8 different women. And the person was leading the conversation. In fact, it's a leader of. I'm not supporting some moral, but I'm just saying that it's not as worse as you think that you want to end your life. Open your mind to big things, and it is by re-educating. You will need to say that thing, say it over and over again. Thank you, welcome. Please sit down. Say it over and over again, say it over and over again to absorb that level onto your subconscious mind by default. There was a time we talked about stages of mastery, right? We said the first stage is like unconscious incompetence. You are not doing it well, you don't know you are not doing it well. The next stage is conscious incompetence. You are not doing it well, but you know you are not doing it well. The next stage is now conscious competence. Unconscious competence. You're doing it well, but you are putting effort to do it well. You will get to the last stage where it will be unconscious competence, where you just do it naturally. I can't be struggling for $1 million now. So, daily affirmation, daily reprogramming, so that every bad thing that the African continent has put in, the average person complains about this country. The average person complains about this country. This country is bad. If I say raise up your hand, everybody will raise up your hand. But there are people who are daily cashing out. Why don't you be on that divide? By just reprogramming your mind. So it's an issue, but you will need to deal with it. And it will not happen in one day. It will be you staying with you and echoing out thoughts. I'm not this person. This is who I am. You have to say it until your mind believes it. And it can take you 1-2 years. There are some habits I used to have that took me years to get out. Like years, literally years to get out, because of how my upbringing was. But you will be fine if you're committed to it. Is that okay? So let's take another question.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. So while we were talking today, I remembered an assignment that we were given when I was in primary 4, primary 3. Our primary science teacher, is it primary science or agric? So he asked us to go plant beans in a seedling. So we all took this tin tomato, we put sand, you busted under, and then you planted your beans. So he gave us 2 weeks. For most of us that were guys, we didn't plant ours immediately. But most of the ladies planted theirs immediately the assignments were given. For those of us that planted 3 to 4 days before submission, we didn't see any tangible results. So after 2 weeks, everybody brought their results, and it was obvious those who were serious, those who planted immediately, those who were watering their plants. So talking about time would tell, it just brought to mind that there was no way for those of us that planted 4 days before submission, there was no way we could fake it. There was nothing we could do except we wanted to go and steal somebody's own. So thank you so much, sir, for that. Now, my question, by default, we are distracted and we need to force attention. In this age where we have to deal with a lot of fears and doubt, for me, there are times when around 8 a.m., 9 a.m., I am very fired about my goals. I'm like, this will happen. It's going to happen. Around 1 p.m., it's like, will this thing really happen? There is this 1 minute you believe so well, and then doubt comes again. How do we tackle that? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I like the example he gave. They gave you assignment, you had your energy, you focused it, but you delayed. It's just like the people, 10 virgins. Some people had the energy, they were present with their attention, but they had not done something in time. So when the result came, it became obvious that they will not make it. Time is powerful. And once it speaks, that's it. You can only weep. So I'm going to plead with us after his example. Plant the seed. Keep doing it every day. Don't be inconsistent. So you are most likely, I've said this before. The world now, Africa now, has a lot more structural system for you to doubt yourself. So let's give you an example. How many of you here truly believes your vote counts? There's a vote count. My vote count. Do you believe your vote counts? Right. So, but we cannot say it outside that, hey, my vote will not count. Some people till now still don't believe maybe our president won. They probably the other person won. Our current president said something slightly, I think I saw it somewhere. He said the allocation to each state now has quadrupled. Who heard that news? That allocation to each state now has quadrupled. Right? If you were earning 10 million, it's now 40 million allocation to each state. So if it has quadrupled, but your state is still like that. In fact, most people's life has gotten slightly worse, despite allocation to their state has improved. There's a sublingual message that is sending to you that you're not that important. And sometimes is intentional, because I can only control you when you feel powerless. So the entire system is built for you to doubt yourself. So how do you doubt? Is for you to put around you things that reminds you of your strength. I just told us now, if I go upstairs, as I sit down, if I just raise my head up, is my goal, I will say. If I go back home and I sit on the chair, I sit down inside the room, and I just look back up, I will see 3 papers that contains my goal. My Instagram is by default on people who have succeeded. I only followed people who, when they talk, I want to listen. So once I scroll one, it talks about leadership. Once I scroll, it says that Elon Musk has made it again. Once this rocket has been fired again. This. So by default, because it is your responsibility to feed your beliefs. If you turn sideways in my office, let's say I turn from my goal, I see Sam Walton. Up till last week, I still read a bit of Sam Walton. I follow Sam, Reverend Sam Adeyemi. If I scroll down any news and I see Dangote, he has reduced. We don't appreciate Dangote enough, really. I know some of you don't like him. They say, no, it's the government that helped you. Let the government help you too. Let the government help you too. We don't know the war this man faced. The entire Europe fought him because their refineries are closing down. That he won that battle, honestly, makes me respect. He's now selling fuel, 820 something naira now. If your doubt overcomes your faith, you don't have enough Q for faith. You know what they call Q? Something that gives you a signal. You know, I said I will photo note and then I will underline some. When I see what I've underlined, I can remember almost all the pages. Those are cues. What will you scroll through in 30 seconds that will remind you of where you are going? What will you wear? What conversations will you have that will keep on giving you that cue? If you do it, so by default now, some cues are just there. So I'm slightly fired than the average person, really. It's because for 10 years, I've forced those queue to become like a constant subconscious thought. It's normal for you to wake up, feel fired, and I get discouraged. 1-2 months ago, I was in Lagos. I called one of my friends. I said, I'm discouraged today, but I don't even want to encourage myself. That I will spend the entire night being discouraged. Because I know by default, when I wake up, I ask myself, like by default now, no matter how sad I am in the night, once I wake up, I come up with a different set of, like by default. If I have a problem to solve and it's difficult to solve it, I leave it till in the morning. I don't know how it happened. I don't know when it happened. I can solve the most intense problem in the morning. So things didn't work out that day, and I just felt like this is not working. And I said, I will not force it, because I know my secret weapon. When I wake up, there's an unusual energy that happens that morning hour, 4 to 6, that solves all problems. So I said, I know where I'll catch you. This time around, I took Coke, 4 bottles at a go. No, did I say Coke? Black water. 4. I took the first one. I took the second one. I took the third one. I took the fourth one. I said, no problem. I'll catch you somewhere. By the time I woke up the next morning, I found a solution. Even if you don't find a solution, you will have the courage to face the problem. You want to call somebody you don't know how to call. I just tell them, don't worry, let me wake up. If your doubt play a longer scene in your life more than your faith, you don't have enough cue. So what I will ask of you, put it on your, all right, so my DP has 2 things, has my wife and my children. If I off it, I on it, it has something different. Me in front of something I want. So my phone is a cue. What's on that? Don't go and put Arsenal, because you are not going to become a football star. Are you going to be a football star? Don't put Arsenal. And those of you who use Canva, Canva now. I want to on my system. What came up on my system? Coyote Air. This thing is supposed to be in 5 years' time. There's no day I don't on my laptop. There's no day. So the first thing when I open, I have a queue. This queue, no, don't let people see, because, sorry, thank you. You know, we're online. I don't know when somebody will be digging my past. Right. You don't have enough queue. Do I have funds enough now, physical cash, to get one? No. But I know how it works. Everything around me, my phone, my laptop, my office, my home, has queues. Don't waste your private space. Don't allow doubt. Doubt by default is festering in everybody. In fact, I got into an office and I was supposed to talk to the management team. And when with the moment I entered, because of the depth of the problem, they kept saying, You know how there will be problem? You just say, So when I heard, I relaxed. And I said, this thing there's nothing that is falling from heaven that the ground cannot take. There's no problem that cannot be solved. And the reason why people say, because they've allowed doubt fester into their minds. Will your life be devoid of problem? No. But do you have the strength to solve them? Yes. So, but what you need to do is to feed and fuel your faith. Thank you. All right, so let's pick the last question. Oh, it's even time. All right, good. So let's take the last one. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for the EAT strategy. I wanted not to speak, but when you mentioned that there'll be no section next month, I think you said something like that. Yes. So I just thought I should mention. So for me, the strategy has been timely, and I don't really have a question, but I just felt I should mention something that was profound for me and what it helped me achieve. So the words that came to me was, so one, you are your energy and you are energy. So I kept saying that to myself for the three aspects. So praise, you are your energy, you are energy. Praise, you are your attention, your attention. I said that for time as well. And the reason why I had to do that was because before we began the strategy, that was 27th December, I had something that happened to me that just changed everything. I mean, negatively, it was really big. I'm able to share now. But that thing had the capacity to stop me from doing any other thing. Then in January, as if it wasn't enough, then in January, another happened and I was not available anywhere. So I was unfit. So it was more like building up to what happened in December. And I had things I had written down, 3 specific things, especially when I wrote that down first when I came to Abuja, when I started serving. I said I was going to achieve these 3 particular things in the 3 aspects, 3 sectors of my life that I was most interested in. I wrote it down in my journal, which I'm always with, and I didn't know how that was going to happen. So when everything happened and you spoke, I think it was in February, this is March, there was something profound you said that really helped me, despite the way everything was going for me. So you are energy, right? And the 3 strategies you shared, context, belief, and results. So I went back to what I had written. And the thing is that what I wrote was capital intensive, but I wanted to stretch myself. So I went back to it and I saw that, okay, since I'm not in a state where I can achieve all of this, I had to reach out to persons who could help me. Remember the word, you are energy. So I had to put my energy in that direction and I began to delegate. So in just the last week, 2 of the things I wrote down, we were able to achieve it very well. And the funds, everything that was needed did not come from me. That's how. So I wanted to just really talk about that, the cues. And the third aspect is going to be in March. In fact, that one is even more. The fund is not even from someone I know at all. Like I just had to shoot an application. Despite the fact that I was unfit, I had to push myself and it came back positive. So I just felt I should really share this because most times we could face a whole lot of pain around us, challenges. But one thing I tell myself is even when you're in pain, don't allow your pain be a pain to you, one, and don't allow that pain be a pain to others around you. Because sometimes it feels like you're wearing that everywhere you're going. Someone can just see that you're carrying the world on you. Yes, that may be happening to you, but I just needed to share that, especially because of what Dr. Victor shared around trauma and all of that. I mean, there's a whole lot going on in the world today, but if you don't push yourself, no one may have the capacity to push you as much as you can push yourself. So I just needed to encourage someone, just in case you have things that you've noted down that you want to achieve. Please go back. If you're part of us for the EAT strategy, talking about time will tell. It's really, really profound. And don't wait. The reason why I could achieve this was because I had started planning last year, but I was not in a place where I could do that myself. I started planning, like I said, when I came to Abuja. So that's scenario you shared where you talked about the planting and all. So if you don't start early, you want to achieve something like Dr. Kayode shared. I don't know if I should say this, I'm online, but then you shared that 5 years time, there's something. These are things that really helps us. It first of all activates our energy in the direction, and when our energy is activated, our attention is focused on it, and of course the results will show in time. Thank you very much.
Doc, you want me to start another session, but I will not start another session. Like, I feel like repeating what we have shared these last 3 months. You don't need to have the money to make it happen. Your energy can draw it in. Let me say that again. You don't have to have the money to make it happen. There's energy everywhere. If you release your energy. Okay, and now, Madam Yemisi, she wants to build a school. But all you need to build that school is 1 billion. But is 1 billion available? Is 1 billion available on this? 1 billion naira. I didn't say 1 billion. Is 1 billion available? Is it in somebody's account? And energy cannot be. I like these things. Like, I'm having good pimples myself. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be moved from one account to the other. So you just release your attention. And attention is knocking at doors, people's doors, just knocking. If it's always knocking on your goal, one day the door will open. And you just look back. It will show. Sure. I don't want to start another class, but she said she wrote it down. She didn't think it was possible. That's how it works. You don't have to have the money. You just have to wake up every day thinking about it. Nothing shall be restrained from them, that is which they've imagined. You are just imagining to do it. You want to do it. You are just imagining. And they said nothing shall be restrained from them, that in which they've imagined. So I quickly, while she was talking, I remembered something and I shared it on our group, Prison of the Mind. I listened to this thing like 7-8 years ago. Go and listen to it. You know, he started that when he was born, the doctor said he will not stay how many years? He now said, is it 20 years after, all the doctors are dead and only him is still alive. And he made a profound statement. So I've listened to it years ago, but I still remember he said, do not listen to the prediction of people that doesn't empower your mind. Please, I want you to listen to him. I've shared it on our K-Tribe group, maybe after this meeting. And once you listen, just state on the group what you've learned. So I want to drop the mic now. But please, I called for volunteers. I said, we will stop this monthly thing and apologize for it. The next 2-3 months will probably be a lot more intense for me. So I will not be able to pay attention to this. But University of Abuja, we could start with University of Abuja. You people have learned enough, really. And sometimes it's in teaching something, if you have the right mindset, that reinforces it in your life. So we will put some people to gather students for next month, and then we'll just give everybody 15. I'll pick a leader that organizes so that you people can pass this knowledge across. The reason why it's important to me is because I made a decision, but I had to go back on the decision, and each day I come out with regrets that once I'm 40, I will spend 40 to 50 teaching everything I know. Now, it's not going to happen that way. So, and I apologize. But maybe I could talk to a few of you, people who have like what Dr. Praise has shared. What I'm doing is what she has also done. I shared from my life experience. For those of you who have been touched to by one class, or we can gather 100, 200 University of Abuja students in one hall. I will cover the logistics, it's not a problem, but it's a volunteer work. There's no payment, please. But your movement for that event, we will cover. Maybe we'll even come up with a few grand t-shirts here and there. You just spend 2 hours. First 1 hour talking to them on, I think we can pick a top, but this EAT strategy, it looks very inspiring. We can talk about this EAT strategy in different shades and different colors, and then pick questions. But ultimately, I want us to focus on their lives being better. Because that's what I thought I would be able to do 1 million. Maybe I can still make it. I don't know. But again, if we pass this knowledge that is with a few persons to teach another set of persons, I think that will be a good thing. And there are 3 people have been with me, Eben, Fed, and then Dr. Praise. So they will still also coordinate, and maybe you can create a small WhatsApp group. Let us know the time, but please let's put a little publicity on it so that at least we can have an entire hall filled. Once it's filled, just 1 day event. We talk about, you don't need to teach all the EAT strategy, just maybe energy. But let's both press it in a way that they can pick up something. Once they do, I think I will be super proud. Thank you so much. I'll see you people maybe in another 2-3 months. But again, I will communicate with every one of you. Thank you.
Dr. Kaide, thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session today. How many of us enjoyed today's session? Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for coming. We briefly want to recognize those that are attending this meeting for the first time. If this is your first time, just stand up, introduce yourself, then we can know you. If this is your first time. Okay, we have somebody there.
Okay, so this is my first time physical.
Okay, but you joined online.
It's not the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep through the WhatsApp group. I've
Okay.
been in the WhatsApp group. I met Toto Kayode through an event where he was a panelist. There's a Commonwealth scholarship. So I'm really glad. For me, I see it as an opportunity, a privilege to be here, and it's been very, very insightful. So this is something that I believe it's going to change the nation, and especially for what is happening in the campus. It's something that is really, really needed in our country today. I'm privileged to be here. Thank you.
Your name, you didn't tell us your name.
My name is Victor Oji.
Victor Oji. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Glad to have you. All right, thank you. Thank you. So for our next meeting, Dr. Corridor would let us know. But then, as I said, we would be moving to University of Abuja. We'll be invading University of Abuja, and I'm sure that great things will come out from there. I almost said amen. All right, so thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Don't forget to watch the video the link that has been shared on the group, The Prison of the Mind. And then for those online, for those here physically, don't forget to share what you've learned from the meeting today so that you can also bless those who were not able to attend. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, all right, sir. We'll do that. We'll let them know so that just share voice notes of what you've done by reason of the lessons you've learned from January till now, so that others can be inspired to even do more. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and have a impactful and goal-oriented month.